Hello, everybody, and welcome to our Gaming News Christmas special. This is a very special episode of the Gaming News as we are going to look at all the announcements of this year's Game Awards 2024. There are a ton of games announced for the 10th anniversary of the Game Awards, a very special occasion Game Awards, with lots of cool games to come in the new year and beyond. So without further ado, let's take a look at all the cool games that will be coming from next year, even beyond 2025. Where should we begin? You're probably going to probably going to be asking me. Well, we are going to begin with a Ninja Garden returning for a brand new game called Ninja Garden Rage Born, which is the first game announced, and it's a brand new 2D game release from the makers of the publisher behind Street of Rage 4 have made this game. It will be arriving in summer next year. So you can see that in the summer of next year, should you be interested in checking this game out. And then another new game that was also announced was One Move Away, which is, I guess you could say, very similar to Power Wash Simulator, but in a sort of a difference where you're sort of unpacking, but with a car, which is literally how that, so you're basically going to be sort of doing it in different years at key points of the character's life, which is going to be coming to PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S next year. Then the next game we have Slay of the Spire 2. Obviously the first game did very well, so they're getting ready for a sequel that will be coming into early access next year. And then we have Dave the Diver going into the jungle, which I actually joked on the stream in the actual co-stream that could he be going to I'm Celebrity, considering that's where the jungle is? But no, I doubt it's that either way. But nevertheless, it's coming in late 2025, so you can find out next year how that goes. Then we have Then we have a game called Thick as Thieves, which is, I guess you could say, as a punch to the Prince of Thieves games. But yes, yeah, it's coming out in 2026 for PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S. It's very high detail actually. It's from a new studio called Other Side Entertainment. Yeah, they've made this multiplayer game out of unusual characters to steal high value treasures in Fantasy Mansion, which is how that game's going to go. So you'll see that in 2026, but I'm sure we'll learn more about it next year. And then we also learned about Shadow Labyrinth, which is another game, which is sort of like a scary level version take of Pac-Man. That's going to be getting a release in the near future. So we didn't get a release date for this, but we'll learn more about this probably in the next year. And then we have Steel Paws, which is a new mobile game. I'm not really keen on mobile games, but it's coming to Netflix games in 2025 should you want to play it. Then we have Karun, which is another game, which is another 2D release that's going to be coming. That will have an 8-player online co-op, and there's a wish list for a Steam page that reveals it's a pro-generational world. So it's from the makers of Core Keeper as well. The guys who made that game are making this one. And then we had a very unique football game, probably the most unique football game I've seen in years, called Rematch, which looks very promising. It's a 5v5 football match style game with different settings in the background. And it's going to be coming to Xbox Series X and S, PS5, and PC in 2025. So it's looking very promising so far, but hopefully we'll see how it all goes. And they promise other modes will be coming post-launch as well, with seasonal bits and pieces as well. And then we have Salvation 2, which is I guess you could say, has that sort of World of Warcraft Diablo feel to it, and it's an RPG. It's coming in early access next year, and it's going to be, yeah, the game seems to be, and it's also got a narrative from Baldur's Gate 3 on board as well. So it looks kind of promising. It might do very well next year in some way. So we'll see how it all does when it enters early access next year. In terms of a future release, we finally got our first look at CG Projekt Red's The Witcher 4. This is a game that they said they were making not too while ago, but we are finally getting our first look, and it's from an unannounced Nvidia RTX GPU, which helped made this trailer. So Yeah, so this is going to, so it looks like they're going to be using the newest Nvidia technology to make this game. So you're going to obviously want to upgrade your PCs when this game comes out. So definitely plenty of time to save up if you want to be ready for Witcher 4, even though they haven't set a release date yet. So they're probably waiting for this technology to probably be out before they release it, which makes sense. And then we finally got a major announcement for Elden Ring. I'm sure Elden Ring fans are going to be very happy because there is a brand new Elden Ring game with multiplayer called Elden Ring Night Rain, which has got a realm of co-op, and it takes lands between to the realm of co-op. It comes out in 2025. It's an action survival game, and it's a standalone game as well. So it's going to make a lot of Elden Ring fans very, very happy. They can now bring their friends along, which is brilliant. So it should be very fun. Now, for PC players who've been wanting to play Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, you haven't got long because it's going to be coming out on the 23rd of January next year. So essentially, at the start of the year, on the 23rd, you will be getting your hands on a PC release of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which is going to be good. It's going to have improved lighting, enhanced textures and models, and it also has support for DLSS and VVR. Just to give you a taste of some of the upgrades, PC upgrades you're going to be able to enjoy when you play this game on PC. And then we have a brand new cat game. Yes, we had Stray. Now we have another one called Cataly, which unfortunately it's not on well, the only console it's available on is on Nintendo Switch, but you can play it on your Apple Watches or on PC. So if you want to play it on console, you're going to need a Switch to play this one, as it's a photorealistic fantasy cat adventure. Here, just so we don't really know too much about this game, but it gives you. I mean, if you like cats, then this might be a game you want to check out. The only problem is you're going to need to get your hands on a Switch or a PC or maybe an Apple Watch if you want to play it. So there'll be more information next year about this game, so stay tuned. And then we had a little tease for Project Robot, which is a new game from I guess you could say, the guys who made The Shadow of the Colossus and The Last Guardian. They've made this game. They didn't really show us a lot except for Project Robot, which is the only code name we can go with until we have a proper name. So we're going to have to wait a little while until we know more about this game, which they promised they're going to be revealing more next year. Outer Worlds 2. Yes, Outer Worlds 2 finally got a gameplay reveal. Finally, after a little while, we finally got a look at Insidia Entertainment's Outer World 2 coming in 2025 for Xbox Series X and S. It's also coming to Game Pass and PC Game Pass as well as PC, and probably the PS5, even though they haven't said a PS5 release just yet. But I wouldn't be surprised if a PS5 release is right around the corner, considering this is an Xbox studio. So chances are there's probably going to be a PS5 release eventually announced for Outer World 2. But nevertheless, we're going to be hearing a lot more about this game next year. So, and obviously on Xbox's stage as well. And then we have Split Fiction, the guys who made It Takes Two. This is their follow-up. It's a co-op game, and they're going to do exactly what they did with It Takes Two. You need to buy one copy of the game to play with two people for this game. And of course, it has there's many different experiences you can have with these two new characters. You can have special weapons and items to evolve over time and complex each other to solve puzzles, dragons with different abilities, or even special exosuits that let you morph balls around. So you'll be able to play it in March next year if you fancy checking this game out in 2025. Then we have Steel Hunters, which is a best you guess you could say has a little bit of Apex meets machines from the makers of World of Tanks Studios, and it's going to be getting a 10-day beta that will begin on PC right now, and it will hopefully be coming to console with a beta test soon. So hopefully console players will get to try this game out down the road. And then we had The Long Dark 2, which is referred to as Black Forest, comes out in early access in 2025. They'll be sharing more details about this survival game near the time. And then eventually we got our first proper look at Borderlands 4. Yes, this is the Borderlands reveal we've been waiting for Borderlands 4 is finally here, and we finally got to see see all four of the main characters in action with a Funimation of multicolored loot. Yes, you know it's Borderlands when there's lots of loot, and we're going to be able to play it in 2025. So we'll be hearing a lot more about this game in 2025 for sure. So Borderlands 4 2025. It shall be a very interesting. Shall be very interested to see how Borderlands 4 is going to play out. I think it's going to be, yeah. And also, we've got a brand new creepy threat as well coming to Borderlands 4, so it should be very, very cool what will transpire in Borderlands 4. Then we have a brand new character coming to Tianka 8, which is Clive from Final Fantasy 16. He comes to the game next week, as available now from the 16th of December if you want to play this character. Obviously related to the Final Fantasy 16 sequel, which, by the way, and then we have Visual Fighter also making a return. They're getting a brand new game. They're going to be, which they shared more details on their own show, and you can find out more in the link in the description if you want to learn more about this game. Then we have Project Century, which is a game that's made by the Like a Dragon developers. So this is another game which is set in 1917 Japan with fisticuffs and all that type of stuff going on. So back in time, sort of Japan. You can expect when this game releases, it's at least two of the games that they've announced, which is going to be interesting. And then we have Tukas Originals Origins, which is a game under the Universal Games that's also from Saber, and it has lots of dinos in there. So you can check, obviously, there'll be lots more about this game hopefully next year. This is a character, by the way, who was last seen on Nintendo 64 years ago. So this character finally makes his return to gaming in the near future. And then we also had a new look at Warframe 1999, which is available tomorrow, December 14th. You're going to be able to play Warframe 1999, which, by the way, they had a Twitch drop obviously last week, but if you were lucky to get one, then you can use that in this update when it's now, obviously it's now available. So it's all yours for you to check out. And then we had a look at Palaworld's brand new update called Flea Break, which is out on the 23rd of December. It's out in just a few days from now. You can check out this brand new update, as they're currently, most of this company is still fighting a legal battle with the Pokemon Company. So on Morris, The Way of the Sword, this is another game coming in 2026 from Capcom, as the character makes his return in a new adventure with monsters to look forward to in 2 years' time. And then we have a little look at Busker's first DLC, Cascade, which will arrive in March 2025, the 27th of March 2025. There wasn't any actual gameplay reveals, it was more of a cinematic reveal, but nevertheless, it's a dark fantasy RPG that we'll be definitely be hearing more about in the lead up to its launch next year. And then we had a little look at a much bigger look at Dying Light: The Beast, which will be getting a release summer 2025, as Dying Light will be releasing its The Beast game summer next year, for those who want to check that out. And then we had a new game from the makers of Overcooked called Stage Fright, which I guess you could say, obviously, is a co-op game that has, I guess you could say, sort of a split screen personality to it, and it has a very British voiceover work in there as well. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting for any indie game fans who want to check this game out. But there is definitely another game I'm definitely looking forward to, and that is the Game of Thrones game, King Roads, which is stuffed with proper TV actors featured in there. Yes, we get to hear the voice of Kit Harington, who plays the famous Jon Snow. He was in this, voiced it in this game, so I was so happy to hear his voice in this game, because we all love Jon Snow, don't we? Yeah, you don't know nothing, Jon Snow. But had to say the line. But anyway, it's coming in 2025. They didn't say what console or PC is on, but I'm like to believe it's going to be for the PS5, probably for the PS4. Maybe we'll have to put our fingers crossed on that one, because of the technology. I'm thinking it's mainly going to be PS5, Series X and S, and probably PC, judging by the graphics. But we'll see what platforms they go with when they reveal more details. I don't think there's a website yet, but I'm sure once the website comes out, we'll have more clarity as to what platforms this will be supporting. And then we also had some news about The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered. The PC release. This is a game that, well, the remaster that came to PS5 earlier this year. It's now coming to PC on the 3rd of April. 2025. So you're going to have to wait until beginning of April next year if you want to play Last of Us Part 2 Remastered on PC and explore Last of Us Part 2 on a PC version. And then another game from Sega that was announced was Sonic Team Racing's back in Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, which will now feature Shadow the Hedgehog, who we saw recently is going to be featured in the Sonic the Hedgehog 3 movie. So I would imagine it's going to be the Keanu Reeves version that's going to be coming to this game. We'll have to wait and see, but nevertheless, a new Sonic Team Racing will be coming in 2025, or hopefully in 2025, which is going to be good. And then, of course, Mafia, the Old Country. We've got a glimpse of that game. Looks very intense, very, very cool looking, and it's going to be coming in the summer of next year. So it's going to be. So I think next summer is going to be looking pretty stacked, considering we now know this will be one of 2K's big releases of next year. And then we have Dispatch, which is a superhero game from the former Telltale developers who are also responsible for Tales of the Borderlands. They're going to be obviously no release date was given yet, but at least we got a glimpse of how the game's going to play when we see soon. And then we have Capcom that are working on the Commando sequel from working with Capcom and Commando, who are uniting for this sequel. That will be getting a release. Hopefully, we'll be getting a release probably several years out, but at least we know that the game is coming. And then we also got a review, and this was the last game announced, and that is Naughty Dog's brand new game directed by Neil Druckmann, during Breakman, the guy who was behind the Last of Us series, has now brought us a brand new franchise to PlayStation called Intergalactic: The Hermit Prophet that will be making its way to the PS5 and PC in the near future. So that's going to be something to look forward to, which is going to be a bounty hunter in space that has a rare light sword that takes down beasts. So it should be an interesting game when we finally learn more about this new Naughty Dog project down the road. So this is a new project for Sony to look forward to in the near future. So these are all the games that were announced, and I know some of you are probably surprised that GTA 6 wasn't revealed here, considering we've waited a year for a new trailer. Unfortunately, yeah, they didn't really reveal anything for GTA 6 this year. They've been very, very quiet since the first trailer a year ago. But yeah, it definitely sounds like next year we're going to hopefully start seeing more trailers and hype for GTA 6. They're obviously keeping it quiet for a very valid reason, because they were obviously waiting for some reveals to take place in the beginning of 2025. I hope they will start the reveals next year, because I think we all kind of do need some hype for GTA 6 soon, because I'm so ready for GTA 6, obviously. But yeah, so that is basically what was revealed at the Game Awards this year. Very, very, very exciting stuff. I mean, I'll tell you, in terms of the games I'm excited for, probably, I mean, I'm definitely kind of looking forward to checking out The Witcher 4. I mean, that looks really, really cool. From the graphics so far, maybe I might give this co-op Elden Rings a go, considering I know Snowy loves Elden Ring, so she might convince me to check it out. And then we have Catley, which obviously I'm going to need a Switch to play it, so I don't have a Switch right now, but we'll work on that one. Trust me. And then, of course, you've got the Game of Thrones game, which I'm definitely looking forward to that. I'm also curious about Borderlands 4. I think that game's going to do pretty well. I need to kind of catch up with Borderlands 3 and finish that and Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, which I plan to do in the new year, because I need to get those games done before Borderlands 4 comes around. Teoscar Origins looks kind of interesting. Might give this a whirl. The Japan 1915 looks kind of interesting. Maybe I'll give this one a whirl. That kind of looks cool. And then, yeah, I mean, like I said, there's a little bit there. I mean, I might check out the Sonic Team the new Sonic Team Racing game. Looks promising. Maybe the Mafia game. We'll see. Obviously, and then also the Intergalactic game. I think that might do really well. And of course, I'm looking forward to GTA 6 next year because I mean, very, very hyped for that game. But I'm sure we'll learn more about it in the new year, so it won't be too long. Let me know what games you're looking forward to in the comment section below. And that's pretty much it, really, guys. This is it. This is the final gaming news video of 2024, which is really sad, isn't it, to think that 2024 gaming news is about to come to a close. There isn't really anything else to talk about now until the new year. So, yeah, we're now basically waiting for 2025 to come around for more reveals to happen. So, we're not really going to get much more news except for the fact that obviously we're going to start seeing releases of Christmas events for Fortnite. Obviously, Fortnite's Winterfest is starting to release this week. If you want to check that out, I'll leave a link in the description with news regarding that if you're interested in checking out that event. But apart from that, there's going to be, of course, and also let's not forget, there is also the January sales coming up, which I'm going to be doing a guide for that on Christmas Eve. So be sure to look out for that if you want to see what stuff you'll find in the January sales this year. If you're looking for some buy some games or even a console in the new year. That's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for all the for tuning into the gaming news this year. I really appreciate all the support and everything. And hopefully, like I said, we'll be back doing this again in the new year when we'll have some news to cover and hopefully have some developments in regards to upcoming titles for 2025 or any exciting or any showcases that could be coming from Microsoft, because we all know Microsoft will have some news to share in the new year. So yeah, we'll see you then. Thank you, and a very happy Christmas to all you gamers if you are traveling over the next few days. Happy Christmas.
Jingle